Well, good evening to you all, and I thought I'd talk to you today about this. It's like a snowflake symbol. You might have seen this in the driver's cab. Now, as you all know, we are having a very hot summer. It's very sweaty out there, very humid, very hot, and we actually have this symbol in the driver's cab because you can actually cool yourself down when you press a button with that symbol on. So obviously inside the driver's cab we have a ventilation system, and it is good obviously in the winter when it's nice and warm, but in the summer when it's hot we don't actually have anything such as air conditioning that you might experience in, I don't know, Australia, America, Asia, you know, some very hot countries. We don't actually have air conditioning on the buses in the United Kingdom. I do remember some buses when I was up north driving in Huddersfield quite a few years ago. I think we had some S-Reg Dennis Darts that came from Hong Kong, but they didn't have any opening windows, and they actually had working air conditioning, but after a while it didn't work, and I don't think we could take them out because obviously you couldn't open the windows. It was like an oven in there. But if you do see this inside the cab, you can have something that's called air chill. I only found this out the last year because it does say AC and I thought it meant air conditioning. But it's not air conditioning, it's air chill, and that actually blows cold air into the driver's cab. Now I know that some buses work and some don't, so the procedure is, because I know there's a lot of frustrated bus drivers out there in this heat wave, it is quite hot inside the bus. So the best thing is we either have a portal, like a phone thing, that you can log any information down, any faults whatsoever with the bus. It's like a modern thing that we're actually using. But other companies use just your basic, piece of paper, like a vehicle. It's basically a vehicle condition report, and you just basically put in there that the ventilation system is blowing warm air. And the only way that I know that they can deal with it is, I think, a private contractor comes in to deal with it. So I know there's a lot of drivers out there frustrated. I think I even spoke to an engineer and he said we don't actually do that. A private contractor comes in to try and fix the air chill, and I know it can be difficult in these hot, humid conditions. I mean, it is late 20 degrees, early 30s. It is very, very hot. And yeah, let's just say I have some long days, sometimes 12-hour shifts, and they can be very, very, very long. I do drink plenty of cold water, but it's not the same. It's like if you were put inside an oven and you drank cold water, you're still going to be cooked, aren't you? So the best way to deal with it is to put it on the vehicle condition report, blowing warm air into driver's cab, and then you're going to have to leave it there. One suggestion is, you can speak to your union representative and he or she will deal with it as well. That's the best procedure, instead of us getting frustrated and angry, because I know when the heat gets to me it really tests me. But we've got to just follow procedure. There's always a procedure to everything in life, and if you always report it, it should eventually get dealt with. But that does work on some buses, and I've had some buses recently that blow really cool air, and it was just about bearable. In fact, I actually had the windows closed. That's right, it's been 31 degrees Celsius, and it was actually just cool enough inside for me to actually close the windows, because if I open the windows, hot air is coming in. It is warm outside. I know when I spent a few years in Australia 20 years ago, it was extremely hot there, and I remember the buses in Sydney had air conditioning and it was beautiful. But we don't have long summers like Australia, or that kind of really hot climate. I remember being in North Australia, I think in Broome, and they had the wet and the dry season. It was and the wet season was awful. You were sweating all the time. So in England we kind of have to just put up with it, as we do it. We just have to put up with the weather, and the weather can be really bad, and in the summer it can be really nice, but when you're on a hot bus, it's not a nice place to be. So make sure you take plenty. I'm trying the mouth. Make sure that you take plenty of cold still water. I don't want to have any sugary drinks. It's not good for me. It can give you a high and then you can be on a low, and it's just not good to have sugary drinks. Have a lot of still water, bottled water that can be filtered, I know the companies that I've worked for, I've always provided filtered water and basically cold. I have an ice pack in my bag, and that lasts me throughout the day and keeps everything nice and cold. So always bring plenty of still water with you, maybe a couple of 500ml bottles, at least 1 to 2 litres of water that you're going to have to top up on your lunch break as well. If you're doing an early shift or a late shift, it's not as bad, but when you do a long middle shift or a spread over, it's going to get quite warm. So, you know, just thought I'd let you all know. Press that in the driver's cab, and if it's not blowing cold air, report it in the right way. Just put it on the vehicle condition report or on the modern phone style kind of portal display, and eventually it will be dealt with. The engineers I know have nothing to do with it, so don't give them a hard time, because I've spoke with some and they said the drivers keep talking to them. So it's nothing to do with the engineers. It is, I think, a private contractor that comes in. Let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong, but a private contractor comes in and deals with it, and you've always got your union to talk to. So go about it in the right procedure and you'll have a lovely day. And I'm going back out again, and it's towards evening time now, so it's going to be a lot cooler when I'm driving back into the city. Take care everyone, have a lovely summer, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye bye for now.